Et c'est parti. Hey, hey. I said I would show you how to draw a Vulpix, or I mean, how to do some shadings and such while drawing a Vulpix. So, here we go. I figured maybe I would go through the whole process of drawing as we go. So the first thing I do is get myself a reference, because by memory I don't exactly know how Vulpix looks. Like, I have a basic idea. Um, So yeah, what I want to do right now is have a basic sketch down. I had a bit of an idea of what I wanted to do, so I'm gonna start by doing that, putting down some lines. For some reason I can't draw while speaking, so well, I might further along the video, but right now I'm like, whoa. Anyways, so I'm gonna start with smaller lines, and I like to reduce the opacity because it feels more sketchy and you can like darken the lines afterwards. I'm just gonna make Vulpix smaller because he's in the way. He or she, whatever. And there we go. Basic idea of what I want to do, I think. With so usually what I do is kind of a sketch that's really, really rough. I don't try to get everything right. I just want to, get a feel for the position of things and see if I like it. If I don't, I can more easily change it because it's just, like a few sketch lines instead of wanting to change it like for down the line. And this little pause. I'm not sure what. I had like some sort of idea in mind, but like for this part, like the first half of the body, I don't know how to position the rest. So I'm just gonna toy with everything. I know he's not a very elongated shape. Like he's very like squished together. Like the back legs are very close to the front legs. So I'll try to not make him too slender. And the paws have a bit of a bump here. The problem with drawing paws like this in the back is trying not to make it look like a wiener. I don't really like this position too much. I'm gonna try something else. So what I do is I add another layer to try something else, because I can always come back and see what I'm doing, try to, like mix my ideas. Other things I do sometimes is go look for pictures on the web. For example, this is like a dog, so I would go like, or more of a puppy dimensions. So I would just go for cute puppies on the web. Try to check if there is a cute position that they can have. There, cute puppy jumping. There are some pretty pictures there. I know you don't see it right now, but there. Here's an example. Whoa, they're so tiny. There we go. So what I could do is try to make something similar, but with Vulpix, which could be funny. I'll just put it in that angle. Yes. I'm just merging the two pictures together so I can just hide them later on. And I'm gonna try to draw this while keeping the shapes of cuteness that Vulpix has. So here I'm looking at like a circle for the head, a bit of a cylinder here. There's the shape here that goes into the legs, like that. There's the belly, and then the back legs that have like this here. And then there's gonna be all the tails. Oh, and the ears. Boop. That's basically what I wanna try to get. But with Vulpix details, of course. That's my way of using a reference, for example. Vulpix has a very tiny nose. Tiny nose. Bit of a chubby face. Or snout, rather. He has a very innocent, fish-eyed looking face. I'll try to get that vibe. Little mouth. And yeah, he doesn't have much of a neck here. So I'll have to keep that in mind. The floof, I will floof the hair because he's like in motion, so hairs would be caught in the wind. Unless he has like a lot of gel in there, but since it's an animal, I doubt it. Unless his trainer puts gel in his hair. Which wouldn't be too much for, but hey, if people want to be creative. As long as it's not harmful, I guess. He has big ears. It's like a puppy. Oh, this one is a bit too big. Okay, like this. I just want some hair there for later. Perfect. The little eye. Yeah. Now I've worked a bit more on the head than I should have for a sketch. But it's fine, it just flowed on its own. Wasn't too bad. Bit of a neck, but not too much. And then the breast kind of comes in like this. With the paw like that. It's a bit difficult to change the proportions, because I'm trying to copy this here, which is more elongated. This is more like a sort of small cutesy in like a one trait kind of thing. He has very, very small paws. Whoops. There we go. Maybe I want to change the angle a little bit, just inspire myself with the picture, but not entirely copy the position. Is the shoulder still here? Just need to see my picture a bit more clearly. The belly comes down like this. And so keeping in mind like the shapes will help also for the shading and everything, because well, I'll explain it later at the shading part. So this leg here goes there. This one feels weird like that because of the rest of the movement. Let's see if I can try that. Make it more like this, where we see the little paw there. I think that'd be cute. Cute little puppy Vulpix. Yeah, here is this little shape here that I'm drawing just for shade reference for later on. Yeah, that's kind of cute. Actually, doesn't look too bad. And this little paw here. How many toes? 3 toes? Okay, cool. So this is the paw section. Well, the toe section. So like this is the paw. Those are the toes. It's like the, I don't even know what that's called in English. The talon. You can understand French. The heel. Yeah, that's what it is. Heel. And the knee right there. Alright, now we're missing the tail, but I need space for that. Oops. I'll just remove this. There we go. So what I did is I circled the area I wanted to delete, press delete, then I click Ctrl D to deselect. And take it out of the way so I can, because if you try to draw outside here, it won't work. So you need to, oops, there you go. You need to remove the selection. It happens to me often that I have something selected and I just don't see the selection anymore, and eventually I'm like, why could I draw there? What the hell? But yeah, it's either your layers or your masks or a selection or something, if you ever use those, that is. Alright, so for the tail, I kind of want them, oh, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, okay, 6 tails. I want them to go in a bit of a wonky way. I mean, they can separate, right? I think. I'm not a master in Vulpix anatomy. Okay. So I have 4. We can, oh yeah, we could see the 2 others here, just like that, and shape here is a bit like this, so it kind of goes like this. Okay, very simple shapes like that. I'll try to keep the feel for it so that people recognize it's a Vulpix. Not that they wouldn't with all the details already, but still. Trying to keep the essence of the Vulpixness. Alright, this one goes over, this one goes over, this one goes over, this one under, like this. And there we go. The tails are gonna be a bit harder for me to draw the way I would like them to be, because details like that, longer details like wings and tails, I would just struggle a bit more. But okay, so now move that out of the way. So this is our sketch. I want to make it bigger. So now I want a bit of a bigger line. I want my line to be at full opacity. And I want to make a new layer because this one is just my reference. I'm gonna be drawing over it with cleaner lines. So I want to try to be a little bit more accurate with these. And yeah, if you see the line appear and disappear, it's just me clicking Ctrl Z. every time to go back. So instead of like drawing a line and be like, oh wait, I gotta erase it. Like it's way faster to just go draw, Control Z, and I switch. Like, oh, I don't know if it's the same for everybody's keyboards, but like I press B, I can draw. Press E, I can erase. My hand is like always on the keyboard, switching between the two, so I'm kind of used to it. Trying to get the general vibe here. And what I like sometimes is to keep my line, but like erase it a little bit, like that. There, I'll have a little corner. Just like this. Take a, keep this here. And the tongue. There we go. You know, depending on what I'm drawing and what my goal is, the way I draw, the techniques I use, they can differ a little bit. I mean, I guess it's normal. It just depends on how I vibe the drawing at that moment. Oh yeah, that's his hair. Little emo tuft. Try to get a sharp line here. Oh, not too sharp. It looks kind of. He looks more angry than dumb. I'm not saying Vulpix is dumb. I'm just saying it's the way his eyes work. I feel like he has a Chihuahua head right now. And little tuft of hair here as well. If you want to change the size of your pen depending on what you're drawing, like hairs for example, you can. Like honestly, I'm just really lazy, and that's why I don't really change the size of my pen, or I don't really complicate myself. I just want to draw and have fun. I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm not trying to impress anybody. Doing it for me, very relaxing, and I'm enjoying what I'm doing, so to me that's what matters. And yes, there are probably more efficient ways to do some of the things I'm gonna be doing for coloring, but again, I'm just having fun the way I do it, and I'm probably gonna keep on doing it like that until I'm actually trying to like make art a part of a job or something, or if I start working on comics like I've been meaning to. Now that will require a bit more of a organization in my speed. What is the swirl? What side? Going the other way. Whoop. Not making the swirl on the right side. Little details. Do I have to follow them? Probably not. But I guess some people out there might be like, oh my god, you did not do this. Why? You're bad. Whatever. Not that I'm doing it for them. I just said like I'm doing stuff for myself and then I say that. But yeah. Just gonna try to be rather accurate still. And there's I think it was in the corner, right? Yeah, the line arrives in the corner. So I'm just gonna go like this. And then give it a little bit of hair in the ears. But I'm not very good at hair either. But I just sometimes just don't take that time to actually do it right. That's the only reason it looks bad at times. That is decent. Ish. I'm not happy with the hair. Maybe I should wait. I need. I'll try to make it a little more 3D. I'm gonna make my pen a bit smaller. maybe a little intense. But basically, like if you look there, it's like the back of his head or the cheek just goes into the ear here and right there as well. So that's what I'm trying to produce, kind of. It does look weird on this picture as well. So I guess I can be forgiven for making it weird myself. Or in my opinion, weird at least. Just I think that's decently fine. Kinda cute. The ear seems a bit big, so I'm try to modify it a little bit. Just gonna... So I'm holding shift right now so that the shape can be like transformed in weird ways. Maybe not too down. Sometimes like with all the lines and everything on there, it can get a bit difficult to see, so what I use is the little demo on the right. For some people it might not be on by default, but look, it's called Navigator, and what you want to do is go in View. No, Windows, sorry. And Navigator right here. And it's gonna appear as a window like this, but you can just slide it in there when you see the blue lines. Boop! There we go. You can put it in there. And there's a lot of other windows that you can just look at what they are. Like this is for when I do some animations. Yeah, that's pretty much what I use. I haven't really looked into anything else. Brush settings is just already up there. What else? I don't know. Like, honestly, I use the very basic of this program. Like, I probably know like 2% of the program, to be honest. But yeah, the things I know help me do, help me achieve what I want to achieve. So, as long as I get that much, it's fine. There, we'll make it so that the hair is like tucked behind the ear here. Just like that. Yeah. And then the other ear right here. It's also flapping in the wind a little bit. Yeah. It does look like the kind of dog that would just come barking at you, doesn't it? Probably because it's tiny. They all have that reputation. There. A little thing here, but I might remove it later by putting just a shadow instead. A shadow of his skin color, or fur color rather. Alright, bit of a neck. Oh wait, I want to put my brush size back to what I had it at, so that the lines has some sort of continuity, or like, oh my god, I'm just losing all my words, I don't know. Consistency, yeah. Line consistency, that's the word. Not that words are really important, as long as you understand how to use the tools. Alright. We want a cute little paw. I might try to do differently. Oop. Yeah, it's gonna be more like that because we're seeing it from like a side angle and not a front angle. So this one's gonna be more in front, and we're gonna see less of the other two paws. And already you can tell it looks a bit better. Gonna have a little bit of a curve here for the heel. I forgot the word again. Just gonna give this here a little flap of skin that joins everything. It's a bit difficult at times, I find, going from drawing, well, attempting to draw more realistically to drawing more cartoony, because cartoony things are more like abstract in a way to me. And I always try to add like more details to be realistic. I'm like, but But a dog has like this detail as well. You should add like this here, not part of cartoony. Unless, well, I guess it depends on the kind of cartoons, but I really think that this one ain't really part of it. Not for the Pokemon style, I mean. Wait. Oh. Actually gonna do the actual shape of a little cushion. So there's like... I swear I'm good at drawing. Let me just... There. Let's just put this. Right. Eventually I'll be satisfied. Just give me a minute. There. That seems good. Right, and then the other paw. So usually dogs have 4 fingers. And the 5th one being like the claw on the side here. I could do that if I want, but, you know, cartoon. So that's the kind of detail they remove. But nobody really pays attention to that. And I don't either, unless I'm trying to draw the thing in question. That's when, like just now, I'm starting to realize the non-correctness of Vulpix anatomy. But then again, it's a Pokemon in another world, so it is probably very accurate for the world it lives in. That little paw here. There we go. Yeah, this looks fine. Trying to add too many details again. I really need to learn how to dumb down my drawings sometimes. Just because, again, if I want to do comics, it makes it a bit easier. Wait. Sometimes I want to add a line through my drawing, like this one, so I make another layer, so that I can erase without erasing everything else. And that helps a lot. So this here is the little line that I put that was here already on the side. So I'm just reproducing it there. Alright, and now I can just, like, this is the sketch so far, that's the line I added. I can just merge the 2 layers so that they're all the same layer again once I'm done. So that, like, I do that so that I don't end up having 12,000 layers, because sometimes it happens. Well, maybe not 12,000, but figure of speech, yep. And there. Oops. Like this. Sometimes my sketch looks slightly better than my outlines, but that's because there's more lines, so your brain can choose which line to look at, if it makes sense. So you just need to pick the right line for it to look good, at least good to you. There, this one is a bit on the side, so we won't see the 3rd toe. Yeah, it's very much a puppy shape. Yeah, that seems good. I'm gonna put the tails on another layer, just again, because I'm gonna go through, trying to do everything in one swift line as much as I can, because sometimes it gives a good look, and I can always adjust the line like this. So what I like to do, whoops, you need to aim for the corners, like click the corner, then right click, then you have other options. And I really love warp at times, just to, you know, move my line here. Now this is a bit out of place, but there. I placed it back. Oh, god damn it. Oh, can I forward? No. Yeah, okay. I pressed cancel instead of accepting to do it the way it was set. I'm trying to give it a little curve here. There we go. Deselect so I can work on the whole thing. Make it just a little bit tinier. Alright, and I was wanting to be lazy, but I realized that the other tails aren't really in the same position, so I cannot just copy past them. Man. I'm gonna have to work through drawing each one of them. Can you tell I'm lazy? A little bit. Just gonna get a bit more curve in here. Maybe not too much. It's not a Squirtle either. Okay, that's what happens when you don't do it in a straight, a single line. Wait, I'm gonna do something real quick. So I'm reducing the opacity, putting it on another layer. I'm gonna try to just do the line in one motion like this. Okay, I like that. So I'm going back to the one under, erasing from where this one starts. I work in mysterious ways, but it's fine. And I've switched layers again to return to the darker one. Going back to the other one, making it darker as well. Oh, see? And I'm merging the two. There we go. So, we have a tail, and it actually looks really cute right now, I think. I really like it, personally. I could be lazy for one of the tails, which is the last one in the background. So what I'm gonna do, so I have the tail selected, I'm gonna hold Control Alt. So you see the arrows changed for a black and a white one. You just wanna click and move. And there you have automatically a copy of layer 8, which was that tail. Makes that new tail here. And I can just, like, I want to make it tinier because it's further in the back. And just like that. Have another tail. Now you just have to fix the lines that you don't see. Like here, this is in front, so we want to remove that. This tail is in front, so we hide that line here. There we go. So our 6-tailed little fox has 2 tails now. And you know, if I wanted, I could also have altered the shape again with warp, like this. Well, what am I doing? Well, it looks a bit weird right now, but you get the gist of it. But I'm gonna keep it like that. So you don't always have to follow the sketch either. Like I just did, without this sketch, I thought that this looked better. So I'll leave it like that. Okay, so I got 2 tails. I'm gonna merge them again, because that's the weird way I work, just so that the lines are on the same layer. I'm gonna open another layer to work on the other lines though. And really, see, 2 traits in one go. To me looks good. I'll leave it like that. Add another one for the third tail. Almost there, but if I can just... Oh, that's very square. I'll try again, it's fine. It's also, I guess, a good practice. You don't have to do it super fast. You can just take your time to make a line. Oops, I forgot those are in the same layer. I'm allowed to zoom, which is something I forget I can do all the time. In fact, this line was going into him. Oh, I just noticed the other line here on the other layer. Alright, coming back to this one. This one looks decent. Now I see like this is a little flat. I want it to be more curvy. I'm gonna try again with the, oops, the corner. warp. Just like that. Et voila, it's fixed. Ah, not bad. Alright, so we're at 4 tails already. Good, I like that. Yeah, I was trying to think if I want to curve this a little more here. Maybe I'll look at what it looks like. Just a little bit of a curve. Yeah, I think it looks better like that. There we go. Right. Erase this little piece of outline. Alright, so 7, 8, 2 more tails to add. This is our 2 other tails, and I want to put them all together. You don't have to always put them together at the same time. You can just merge them all at the end, but I don't know, I'm obsessed at just doing it as I go. Because eventually I just start losing myself in my layers, and I'm gonna be told to just name them, which I usually do, but like the first thing I name usually is just outlines. And well, oh, that's my eraser. I ain't gonna draw. Okay, so I just want to finish my outlines. Sometimes I sort them in folders as well if I need to keep some outlines apart. For example, when you do animation, it helps. But I just have outline folders. Oh man. See, those are beautiful lines. Okay, cool. I just need to get them to fit together. This is not too bad. Oops. Again, I can zoom. Let's do that. There we go. Not too bad. You can always use the magic warp. Oh. Complicating my life right now. Alright, okay, this looks decent. Those are like tiny details that I notice because I'm drawing it right now, but if somebody just looks at the end result, they probably won't see that. Yeah, I want a bit more of a curve in here, so adjust the line. Just a little bit more. I'm looking in here. Looks decent. Alright. Oh, the line is more thick. I'm gonna just clean it a little bit. Whoops. A little bit, I said. Okay, I mean, this is fun. After all, this was supposed to be more of a tutorial on coloring and shading. But hey, you get a full package today. Haha, full package. Alright, I was seeing little details I wanted to fix in here. So I'm just fixing that real quick. Alright, this looks decent. I'm always like, okay, this is fine, keeps on working on it. This is never fine. That's the truth of it. Alright, one more tail. And whoa. That looks weird. I kinda like the swerve here. Don't like this here. this, like that. Like these and those. Yeah, like I said, this is the part where I struggle more. Longer lines that I do all at once, ideally. What is this madness? Okay. Delete this. This here has a weird bump. And the color is just gonna make the drawing shine even more. Like sometimes your outline can be a bit sucky, but then you add the colors and everything starts coming together. It's a lot more nice looking. Okay, maybe this is fine. Or is it? Alright, I'll remove the sketch. This last tail is really weird looking, but I'm just gonna delete that. And I'll try to make one right now freehand. Not that the others weren't freehand, but just to have it like not influenced by my sketch. Yeah, I think I like this position a bit better. I'm gonna try to do it in a single trait. Oh, that's not too bad, is it? Yeah, I think it looks good. I think that's why the artists that draw Vulpix usually keep him with all the tails together. A lot easier to draw. This is a lot more annoying to figure out. This. Looks just a little bit weird around here. Why can I not be satisfied? Okay. This. I like this. I'm just not thinking about what I'm trying to do. I think I'm just trying to do some lines. Like this. Why does this one look weird? Is it just me? Am I just being too harsh on myself? I could place it like this. Okay, make this like this. Gonna try something from that. Send it here. Like that, for example. If I erase all these parts here, does it look decent? Kind of. Also, me spends hours on a single part of the drawing. Sure, some people can relate. Maybe a bit tinier, because like this one here was tinier. Just like that. I'll leave it like that. Oh, wait. So, a nice trick you can use is image, rotation, flip horizontal. There. It helps giving a fresh perspective on what you're drawing to see if it looks decent or weird. To me it looks decent, even turned around, so I like it. I Control Z to return. And there, we have the outline. Sorry, had to stretch. Okay. Now, all those layers that I have here, I'm just gonna delete them. I use the Control key to select them all. And I can click here, hold Control, and you can select other layers. And if you wanna, for example, select 12, 9, 8, 6 in one go, hold Shift and boop, there you go. I'm just making sure those layers are my outlines. Merge layers. I want my sketch, just because I gave me some pointers for shades, like right here. Alright. So for example, here I can make a folder after selecting them. And I call the folder outlines, or poutlines, I guess. That works too. And I can start with the coloring. So, for this kind of drawing, the way I proceed is as follows. So first, what is the color that is the most present or central in this drawing? I would go for this here. That is what I see the most of on this character, and I will apply it to everywhere inside the outlines. This is one of the things that I do that takes more time than if you did it other ways. Like, I know ways exist to make this easier, but I just really like doing it that way. That is just me. Well, maybe not just me, but I know I like it like that. I do it like that because this is the most relaxing part of the drawing, and I've actually had people tell me it's also their favorite part to watch because it is relaxing for them as well. So I guess I'm just keeping it that way. Enjoy the relaxation if it relaxes you as well. Well, since I'm still gonna be talking, I guess it won't be 100% relaxing. Unless my voice is relaxing, then that's amazing too. Some people have said they like listening to my accent, so there's that. So I guess relaxing sight with relaxing voice, everybody's happy. The world is a better place. It's nice, we like that. Alright, so as you can see, I went out the lines while doing this, and it's fine because the fun part comes in. Well, I say fun for me, that is, where I just go clean around everywhere. And this is where having my hands on the erase and brush keys like E and B come in handy, because, well, if I accidentally do this, well, I can either Control Z or just, well, use my pen. Oh, it's so big. Anyway, I'm gonna put it back to a smaller size. Yeah, I can just redraw inside of it if need be. You'll see me do it till the end of this cleaning. So here we go. I might be more quiet during this part, so if you want to have some music in the back, be so that it's like a time lapse but with no time lapse. That's your choice. Maybe I could recommend some music, but I don't know like the titles of the songs I listen to, so I don't know. Just listen to some World of Warcraft OSTs, they're good. Yeah, I'm not talking because it takes all of my focus. It's honestly just because I don't have much to say. I have so little to say that I'm talking about how little I have to say. Yeah. The funny thing is, most of the time, the part that takes me the longest is the sketching and the outlining. After that, putting on the shade, it will go so fast. You'll see. I yeah, what no. I started my sentence, but it's not the way I wanted to start it. I meant to say that it goes fast for this kind of drawing. Like I can spend a lot of time coloring as well when I do more realistic stuff or detailed with backgrounds and such. Or when I yeah, well when I want to put more details, it takes longer, of course. But for something cartoony like this, it goes fast. Mm, Another thing I like to do as well uh, when I draw is to not leave it on a white background. I usually turn it grayer, and I'm just now realizing that my eyes are like blinded by the white. That's why I make it darker. Sometimes a beige can work as well. It's just you gotta be careful when you put on colors because it can throw you off with the the my god, if it's like blue or gray or uh beige, it's gonna affect how the colors look to you. And when you don't have that background anymore, the piece can come out a bit different. Not that it matters, it can all be fixed with some saturation or color hues and things to control that I'm talking about and you probably don't know about. Uh, I say you because I'm talking to someone specific right now, like not you as a viewer. But yeah, things that you can find in here, adjustments like brightness, contrast. This one I use less. Hue, saturations, color balance. Those three are the one I play with the most. Some of those I don't have a clue what they are, but if I looked at them, I would probably figure it out. Getting there, a bit more than halfway. Mm, One of the reason why I have some thicker lines is so that when I do this way of coloring is well, because when you remove the outlines, you see how jagged it is and everything. It's just like oh, but with the outlines it doesn't show. Like you have a lot of space for error if it makes sense. But it's not really like errors. It's just you can as long as you hide it under the black line, it looks fine. Looks normal. Only you know, or everybody that looks at this now knows. That's also one of the reasons why there are probably better ways to fill in colors, especially if you want to remove the outlines afterwards. You could always try to clean your lines manually afterwards, but that's quite a pain, I'd say. I've done it once, and the drawing took a long time to make for no reason. And it was not many shapes or surface to deal with, so imagine something more detailed. Like, this Vulpix is already more detailed than the other one I worked on. Oops, sorry, probably have your music. Don't let me interrupt it. Or probably not if you're just listening to me. In that case, I like my humor. I'm that funny. Almost done here. There we go. You look at that. It's amazing looking. Wait, I'm just gonna close the sketch lines just so that we can see. Alright, so now comes in the beautiful mask. Or you can also do another thing that is called yeah, it's a mask. Okay, clipping mask, which you see here is a little arrow appeared, and what it means, that's an other layer, but this layer is attached to this one we just drew, which is the color. And what it does is, let's go with yellow for example. I wanna draw on it, I can, but I cannot go out of the bounds. So this is like a foolproof way to color things, which is amazing. But it won't prevent you from going over the lines. So if, for example, for this layer, I wanna do the orange for the tails, I can put it on right there. But like the color doesn't go on here, so I'll have to be a bit more careful on here. I can go over the line and just do like I did with everything else and come back to erase it just like that. But I'd rather just be careful in general so that I don't work too much for no reason. I like to have a bigger brush to cover as much area as possible and to leave no little dents of uncolored or unpainted areas, because sometimes it shows afterwards when you add different colors. Maybe not with these two colors because they're similar, but other very distinct colors may show, like a white dot or a black dot in there would show a lot. So we have the tail. Just gonna erase that here. Whoop. This in the knee. So it's really helpful, saves a lot of time. Also very fun. You can probably use that in creative ways as well. God damn it. Is saying god damn it inappropriate? I don't even know. Like, so many words have become politically incorrect to say that I'm actually scared to talk sometimes. There we go. Now we have a little corner here, like this. Gonna use this opportunity with my smaller pen to do the hair. He's having a bad hair day, and I like it. Oop. Now I'm saying he, but I know some Pokemons have different physical characteristic depending on the male or female. So I may be misgendering this Vulpix, but I feel like they are probably they probably look the same. We'll see. Well, no, I ain't even gonna check. I decided it's a he. It's a he. Alright. So what other colors do we have in Vulpix? We have... Oh, yeah, the white belly. Forgot about that. Alright. So the white belly, I'm just gonna add another layer. So the order of layers changes something, because if I add one in between the two that I already have, what it will do is, for example, I'm applying some white for the belly. If I go up like this, the orange one is on top, so it's not gonna go over, but it's still there under, so good to know. And just gonna try to be accurate. We need the reference. Goes all the way there. Gonna do a generic area for it, and I'm gonna fix it afterwards. Just like that. Arm is not affected as much. Really is just a belly. So I like to separate different colors like that so that I can work on them individually when doing the shading. Wow, my cleaning is very messy. Like this. Put a bit more there. I'm gonna make this a bit tinier so that it fits with this here. I want to remove those two lines that are not really working well here. But adjust this as well. Get a little dent here. There, just make it a little bit of... I think I prefer it like this. Alright, this looks decent. And I want to add something else. Yeah, the paws are another brown. I'm gonna put paws under this here. I'm gonna sneeze, I think. Wait, does it go all the way to the... Okay, no, it stays like, well, higher on the front paws, lower on these paws. Up there, you can see, we see the orange here. Go away. Okay. This. Make this tinier. Just like that. There we go. And the last but not the least, Fluffy paws. It's good. And sometimes what I like to do is oh wait, there's also brown in the ears. Same brown as the paw. Yeah, awesome. Just gonna do the ear as well. And you know, you can separate things the way you want. I separate them by color, but you do you, you know. Whatever works best for what you're trying to work on. And facial features. So usually when I work on facial features, I just leave it all on the same layer. In this case, it's a bit easier because they're all the same color too. I don't know why he has a gray mouth, but he does. And then, well, maybe I'll put the tongue on another one, just because. Go. Oops. Alright, we have our base color done. Oh, I had that saved this whole time. Oops. I'll save at the end. I don't like that my thing shows. Or, yeah. It's okay. I don't think the internet will go down. Or internet. I mean, electricity. Because I don't need internet to draw. I had to take a sip. Sorry. Now, I'm gonna start with the orange because I feel like doing orange first. I'm gonna be on the orange layer. I'm just gonna call it orange so it's more visible. I'm gonna keep the same brush just because there's no need to switch all the brush. Well, I mean you can if you want. I just want to show that it's possible with whichever you choose to use. You can keep the same for the whole drawing if you want. Okay, and I want to reduce the opacity by quite a bit so that when I draw something, it appears, but like at a slower. I don't even know if you see it right now. And I selected a darker color. Oh wait, forgot something. Before you draw, this here you want to, how do I do that already? What the hell? I'm having a, oh there we go, lock, right here. Sorry. Right there, right here. So what it does is now you cannot go over. So I cannot, I'm gonna put the opacity higher, like here. I cannot go draw on the other parts of the drawing. That, because it was on top of these layers, so it was stuck to the base layer, which was the skin color. But it could still go on top of everything. But now that I filled the color the way I wanted, I can just lock it so that when I draw, it just stays in this color. And the cool thing you can do is, for example, gradient tool. You want to add gradients. Well, wait, I'll do it with another color so that you can see. Like, see? Gradients are just gonna apply in the area of orange that I've pre-made for this. So the tedious part is done. Now, oh wait, no, I want a darker color. So I'm picking colors from the Vulpix. Yeah, I'm gonna reduce their opacity, but not too much. I'm actually gonna blend them with lower opacity. So first I just wanna position the darker areas like in a general way. Like it doesn't have to be very accurate. I'm just putting on a splash of colors where I think the shadows would be. I forgot because it's in my brain right now, but a good thing to keep in mind, get them there, is think of where the sun is hitting on the drawing. So, for example, I want the sun to be coming from this way. Oh, maybe a paler line might feel more like a sun. Whatever. Sun is coming this way, so the way I think about the drawing is what is going to be hidden in the darkness when this hits from this angle. So, oops, still on that other, going back to the right layer. I'm gonna take the darker shade here though. So everything under here that's hidden, a bit here, all of this here. Probably this is hidden by the butt. So I'm gonna add some shadows here. All of this section here. Probably a big section here-ish. And you'll see it starts taking shape when you pay attention to the source of the light. Wait, a bit more in there. And that's why, like, knowing what shapes you're currently drawing helps. Because, let me try to see if I can make a little demo. For example, it's some basics, but most people, no. Anyways, basics. Never mind what I was gonna say. For example, I always go with a cube. Let's pretend this is a nice looking cube. If the light comes this way, this whole shape here receives like barely any light. The top is gonna have a lot of light, and this one is gonna be in between the two. And closer to the corner here, there may be a bit more darkness, depending. But since it's a very flat surface, it's probably pretty much the same color. Anyways, if you do that with a cylinder, like it doesn't look like a cylinder, but if I start adding like shading lines, it looks a bit more like a cylinder. Since it's hitting from the top here like this, there will be more, darkness at the bottom, but this whole area receives light in here. So that's basically what you have to try to keep in mind with the more complex shapes. So like right here, there's like a circle. This is like the darker part of the circle, and this is in front of the area here, so that's why this area is darker. This area here, well, okay, that looks like a mess right now, but yeah, this area brighter, this section here brighter as well, because like curviness in the tail. Same here, this area will be lighter, this area will be the lightest, but this one is gonna get lights as well. Here it depends on where the tails are and where the sun is, or the source of light is in perspective between those two tails, because this could get some shade from this one, but I think I'm just gonna leave it with no shade and have this be hit by the light as well, because the light is coming through here, and like it hits at an angle, so it could probably just hit all three at an angle, if it makes sense. And same here. This is like in front of Vulpix, like on his side, so the light just goes next to him and hits right there on there, and doesn't like go through its face. Well, for this part at least here, but this part here might be more shaded because it's hidden like in a crease-ish kind of thing. And maybe this is a bit dark as well, but it will gradient towards lighter because this area will be lit. I don't know if it makes sense what I'm saying, but I'm gonna represent it as much as I can while drawing. Just one bigger brush because, like I said, I'm just trying to figure out where I put the light. So that's why I had this here, like I mentioned, trying to go in sections a bit, like this. And it's okay if you don't put it all exactly at the right place, because the cool thing that you can do is either erase or go in with a brighter color and then have this brighter color here be there like this in the lit spots. And I think I'm gonna try to get a color in between the two, a bit crispy coloring, so that I can, yeah, just add a bit here just to have a bit of a sample of a color. But I'm not gonna keep it as bright. As I mix everything, it's gonna mix itself into the drawing, but it's gonna look less like a random saturated color. Okay, so I lower this a little bit more, and what I'm gonna do is use the Alt key, so it turns into this little tool here, which I don't know the name of. Maybe I can see it here. Wait. Eyedropper. There you go. And it does exactly what the picture showed. You click on a color, you have it under your control. And then switch color, have it under control. And like as you move, you can see the color at the top switches. It's the color you're currently pointing. The color at the bottom is the color you had. So I'm gonna be working with this. So I want it to mix a little bit in here. And as you do a gradient, you wanna like pick the color, do it a little bit, get the new sample, do it a little bit, so that you get a really good mix of colors. And everything just starts blending like that. And you blend it just the way you feel. You just have fun with it. Don't think too much about it, because all the thinking has been done by placing the color, the general shape of colors. You can always go back later on with more thinking to fix some details, but try to just get this thing done and going first, just so that you have a general idea of what it looks like when completed, and then you can make more adjustments to at least that's what I do. But yeah, you make more adjustments to fit better the aesthetics that you want. There, like here I want to add a little bit more dark because it's like a crack. This a little bit more light here. Just trying to think while well, don't think. Yeah, I'm trying to just make sure I follow the shape and what I have in mind. So you can already see the difference between the section that I've already done a bit and the two at the bottom, for example. But it really doesn't take too long. I just, like, with my pen right now, I'm like poking, like puck, 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 ish, but in strikes instead of just dots. And I'm trying to push the colors in together like this. I can bring it to this part here. So I just want the lines, the very obvious lines, to disappear, basically. This is like this. I feel like sneezing again. I haven't sneezed already. Hang on. I have my window open for fresh air, but it's slightly cold outside. I think it was like 12 Celsius earlier. Might be cooler now because the sun is setting slowly but surely. Just want to add a bit of a color here, but too bright. Like if you're putting some too bright in a darker area, you can just go back to darker and go over it and try to get that color and push it the other way around. Again, I'm not sure if that makes sense, because I'm not really using any sensible terminology or whatever. But, I mean, if you're more of a visual person, I think you'll be fine. You can kind of see what I'm doing a bit. Just poking at colors, mixing them, trying to make them fit where they are. It looks like old graphics, but I kind of like the look. And, like, you can always push this to a deeper level. You can work on it for longer. Like, it really is up to you. Another thing, well, I'll show it after the tails. I'll try not to forget about it. Yeah, I'm focused on not trying to forget about it now. But it's basically using the lasso to do some gradients, so I'll show you in a moment. It's something that I really like doing too. It comes in handy with characters that I draw sometimes. I actually used to only draw using lasso, well, do shadings using lasso only, and that would give a different finish that I enjoyed. Just takes longer-ish, because you need to be precise, or kind of. I'm just gonna show you after this tail. But yeah, basically you just push the colors into each other. I forgot about the hairs. But it's okay. I got this. Give a general idea of where I want the shade, where I want the light to hit. And that special orange. There we go. Yeah, mix it a little bit. Hair's a bit different though, because of the fact that it's not just a shape, it's a bunch of spikes together. I say spikes because why not? So when you want to represent hair, you want to like have little lines like this that go a bit everywhere. Lines of darker and lines of brighter. Maybe even a little white like that. I'm just gonna smaller lines again. Oop. Just like this. Give a bit of a highlight there. It gives more shape. Just a little highlight. Nothing too fancy. There we go. It's already looking nice. And see, not much effort went into that. And highlights, I want to add them to this part here as well. Maybe I could make it a bit bigger. Oops. I'm not trying to complicate my life though when doing highlights like this. Bit of a light here, bit of a light there, bit of a light here and there. There. Like, see, we don't really see my highlights too much, but they do give a bit more depth as well to the drawing. You can also do another thing that I've seen a lot of people do is like on round stuff you do a little bubble, kind of. to signal another highlight. Just like that. It's kind of cute. Kind of cute where it belongs, that is. A lot of people use that on butts. Because very shiny butts are appealing, I suppose, for a lot of people. I say I suppose, but do I like that? Actually, I don't know. And I don't know why I'm talking about butts when drawing a Vulpix. Okay, so I wanted to add a darker color, but I'm already at the darkest here. So I'm gonna try to get this brown here. And I'm gonna do the lasso thing I've been mentioning. So, for example, I wanna darken this area here. I don't know if it'll work, but I'll see. For example, I wanna take this and just add some dark. But in here only, and it does like a different kind of shade, if you can see. I don't really like what it did right there, but it helps a lot with skin color. What am I erasing? Guess I'll stop here. But yeah, it just helps instead of doing like this. Oh, my opacity is low on there, that's why. I was wondering why the color wasn't very sharp. How about try again with this color here. So I just want a bit of something around here. But yeah, so you basically lasso a shape that you want shaded, or it could be lit as well, doesn't have to be only shade. Only shade. They're like this, you do that, for example, and voila, Ed does this. Kinda looks cool, I think I'm gonna try to do some more of it. But you just have to be accurate within your lines and know where to place it for it to look kind of good. I just like that. Let me remove some. Oh yeah. So little tooltip here. This every time you click to make a selection, it removes the others. This one it adds to the others. This one it removes from the others, and this one creates a center point. I don't know. I've never used that one, but feel free to try and use it yourself. See what it does. Practice. That's how I discovered some of the tools, is by just trying them out. Here, I'm trying to stay on the line. Ah, success. It helps that I'm using a tablet or graphics tablet. Oh, and you can tell if you see my cursor, like there's a little plus next to the lasso when you add and a little minus when you remove. So you can avoid making mistakes if you pay attention to that being there. Because I've removed some spaces that I meant to select before, and if it happens, just click Ctrl Z. I almost clicked it, but I meant to Ctrl D. But yeah, if you Ctrl Z, it's just gonna go back to your previous selection, ideally. Like, for example, I did this, and I meant to erase that, not add it. Ctrl Z comes back. Ctrl Z is your savior when you're not on paper. Remove this here. You can remove or add as much as you want to your selection, and I know there is a hotkey somewhere to just switch between the two. I just don't remember it. Don't usually use it that much. But yeah, this is more lasso shading. if I can call it that. And another way I could do this is make another layer on top, still clipping mask. Sorry, it has to have the arrow. And I go like this, for example. Oh, yeah, I'm just gonna put full color. Don't want this here, just want that. For example, I want this section here, and this section there. Maybe I want a bit of hair, just to give it some style. For fun. There we go. And when it's on a different layer, you can use, well, click on the thing where it says normal, and you can choose between different things that will affect how it represents itself. And I like to use multiply to give it like a bit of a shade. It's gonna merge with the color under it to give that color of a shade instead of, you know, like this brown that I've had here this whole time. And so it's more of an orangish brown. And it fits slightly more, I'd say. And after that you can, you know, make it mix like we were doing earlier. But I could, like if I like it, I could just merge it with the orange that I had earlier, so that now it's all together on the same layer. And I can just enjoy making it all fit together. Just like that. You can do little patterns if you want. Just let your creativity flow, and sometimes your creativity will show you different techniques, different fun things to do. Like don't be afraid of just trying out stuff. I'm gonna add some of this brown in this here because I really like it. Also gonna work with a bigger pen. I like this brown. Gotta still be careful not to overstep or overpaint, because we're not actually walking. Starting to get hungry now. In real life, I mean. Or not that this is not real life, but just my human body requires sustenance is what I'm meaning to say. There, trying to add a bit of a fur texture. I don't really want those little bubbles in this case. I might add them later, though. I'll see. Sometimes I can't make up my mind, and I switch in between ideas, and it's okay. That's how you experiment with your drawing, as long as you're having fun and you're not angry at your drawing. If you're starting to get angry at your drawing, unless you're trying to draw with the emotion of anger, I would recommend trying to take a break. Because then, when you're angry, well, personally, when I'm angry while drawing, I just... Whoop. Oh, wait, it's not locked. Okay, there. I'm gonna lock it back. But yeah, when I start getting angry at what I'm drawing, I just start like forgetting how to draw altogether, and I just do some crap instead, and then I get angry at the crap I do, and it's just a vicious circle. And then yeah, no, I don't recommend it. And it also applies to a lot of life things. Just when you're angry at something, take a step back, because anger is not a good judge. Or not good at decision making. It's good at being primitive and impulsive. It helps in some situations, but not most of them. Like I said, if you want to draw with anger, and that's the point of you drawing, to just have anger be onto your piece of art, then by all means, go ahead. But this Vulpix is not supposed to be angry drawing. Even though his face seems maybe a bit like a angry doggo. But no, it means to be cute and Pokemon-esque, but in my own style. And also, most of the tools I've shown so far usually can be found in a lot of other programs if you're not using Photoshop. Yeah, so as long as you know the names, which I probably didn't name this whole time, you can just look it up on the internet, like how to use this tool, that tool. Or just how to do gradients, how to do lasso, how to do different brush opacities. But the layout of most programs are very similar. You can just look into them and try out everything. Just click everywhere, try to see what does what, figure it out, take notes if you need to. Okay, I do not like this color here. I'm gonna try to make it more saturated-ish. See what it does. Maybe not. Whatever. No, not good. I don't like it. Maybe this. I just want a color that, fits a bit more. It looks bad. Orange is a color that sucks to work with, I think. Like if you don't use gradients of red and yellow with it, like if it's just orange, it's like more of a type of brown. It gets annoying to deal with sometimes. Alright, let's give a bit more volume to this hair. Not that he needs it, but just visually make it more fun to look at. Oops. Here. Been spending a lot of time in the city lately, and I forgot the sound of birds, surprisingly enough. The only birds I see there are pigeons, and they're very quiet most of the time. Now I'm hearing birds out of my window, and I'm like, ooh, birds! And cars honking for some reason. It's a very quiet place normally. Why are you honking? There. Wait. Yeah, I kind of like it like that. So we've done the orange. Wait, no. That's my reflex of saving, but I'll save later. It's fine. But actually, I have a trick to save. Let me pause. Aha! See, I was able to save it without showing my whole desktop. Nice. Not that there's anything to hide, I just don't like showing everything I have. Probably gonna have to find a way to cut this little part of the video where I put something in there. Okay. Now, this color is done. Now I want to do the white belly, okay. So, what do I do first? Lock. There we go, so I can draw outside of it. And I go choose a color. This one can be really simple to do. Just like that. There we go. And maybe make this a bit darker here. And I can just select the colors and have some in-betweens in there. Nothing too fancy. There we go. There's a shade. Maybe I'm just gonna make it darker though. Like that. And never mind the reference lines from earlier. They were for a more realistic Vulpix. I want to try to keep him more cartoony. Alright, next we have little brown spots. This is already the darkest, but I'm gonna go grab. Oh, there's some reddish brown here. I like it. Yeah, a little bit of here. Yeah, I locked it, so we're good. The sun is hitting this way, so I want to keep that in mind. Go, just playing with the colors. Right. Now there's a brighter color here. Oh, speaking of doggos, there's one outside barking. In a very mean way that could resemble what this dog would do. Alright, mixing a bit more. Now what I could do at the end is try to mix like the white and the brown into the more tan color in the back. But I don't have to keep the cartoony look. I just like to give a bit of gradients in the cartoony looks of Pokemon. A bit different than that one, that is. I might have to improvise the darker colors though. Alright, that's the tongue. Cool. Take something darker, just like this. There we go. They're easy. And then those. They're just picking out colors now. A bit faster. Yeah, the sun is coming this way, so the mouth will have a lot of shade to it. Now, there, for the eyes, I try to remember that the eyes are globes. So you need to have the circle part popping out with where the light hits. So the light hits probably here. Maybe the lid here is a little darker because it's hidden under the eyelid. That's what I meant to say. want to have a way paler color because snouts are usually moist. Oops. I'll have it at 100% opacity. Just have a little boop like that. I think even more pale. Closer to white. There. Have a little nose. And then the white of the eyes that is reflecting all of the light. Sometimes I like to add a bit of a paler color like this. That's what some people do as well. Doesn't always look good. Maybe I just add it as color like that as well. You can like add a section of color. Really depends on how you want to do it. Like here they have a section here, which is kind of strange. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. But I'd say like this section here gets hit most by the light. Oops. Take a tinier brush. Just gonna try to follow the shade line here. That bigger point of color. Ah, that looks good. I like it. I'm just gonna go to the outlines or the pout lines and remove this here. Oop, that's a little off. Let me go fix it. There we go. It's more natural and more derpy because Vulpix looks very derpy. He's like, eh. Wait, I forgot some stuff in the brown colors. I forgot the ears. I'm gonna try to get that done. There, giving a bit of depth to the ear. Most of the ear is probably gonna be dark actually because the sun hits that way. But the edge of it might be in the sun, so we could add a little bit of a paler color like this. Because you know, when you look at a dog ear rather, in the sun, well, those with very thin ears, you can see like the light through them and they become very bright orange and red. So I'm just trying to do a bit of that here, not too much, because it's still a cartoony looking doggo. There, the idea is there. Like the light shines on this edge here, but everything else is in the darkness of shadows. Alright, we're getting there. And just dismiss it. Pop up. Please stop bothering me, thank you. Probably a virus I got somewhere. Ideally not. Okay. This color here, I don't really like the color scheme of Vulpix right there. I want to have more drama in the shadows, if that makes sense. So when you're at that layer, your base layer, you can either draw directly on it, or what I suggest is making another layer to do the shadows in case you want to go back. Well, does it really matter because you can always erase or just go back over everything with a plain brush. But I just like sometimes separating things. So we will get darker color. So this here, this like this, like this here probably. Not too sure for this. Wait. This here. Like this. Yeah. Those get a bit of shine. This is definitely in the shadows because of the hair. But not so much so this part here. The nose, a little bit of a line here. Try to get the basic shadows done. This huge section here will have darkness in it. And probably a part of this here. Less so the leg. It's gonna be hit by the sun. Yeah, a bit like that, I think. Bit of the back. This here, I think like that. Would be fine. I'm gonna add a bit of a lighter color as well. I'm trying to leave me some space to add it. Maybe the shoulder should be lower. Looks less weird. Just like that, it's starting to take shape. I'm so focused right now. Alright. And yep. So this merging I'm doing is slightly easier. It's only like one color with different gradients and everything. But you can always try to combine colors that way as well, gradually like switching from one another to another. Like for example, if you would draw a rainbow, that would be some decent practice to try and blend different colors from one to another. Oh, and this dog has the same source of light. So I could have actually used them as a reference for most of this, which I just now realized. Didn't mean to copy like that, but it just happens. Just like that. So I can't really explain like why I'm putting color the shade where I'm putting it. It's just half of it is just vibing where it goes, and the other half is just being used to drawing certain things. You can always look up reference and see how things look like practice drawing, well, the shades in a similar way than the reference. Or exercise you could do is look at the basic shapes of things and think of your light source, where it would be, and how it would hit your subject or whatever you're drawing. And yeah, like I was doing earlier with the tails. Like right now, if I want to think about, for example, like source of lights that hit, I'd be like here. This is the most in the sun with the arrow that comes here. A bit here as well. Right there. This is a big surface because everything is very circular. Of course, you have to keep in mind that this is a meat sack, so it doesn't behave exactly like a geometric shape. There's a bit of a, distortion in the way it moves and it reflects. Also, different surface will have more dramatic lightings and such because of how much they reflect, like metal, for example. It will reflect like ambient colors, so you kind of have to be aware of that when you draw metals to make them more realistic. But usually skin doesn't reflect that much. It gets a bit of a yellow tint when there's a lot of light. With more dramatic lights, though, it can reflect a lot, the skin. It just depends. Like when you go somewhere that is different in real life, just look at how things interact. Like if it's sunset happening, you'll see that the lightings are very different everywhere, and you might want to take a moment to observe how it interacts with everything, including your skin or whatever. Little puffy cheeks. Oh yeah, see the little lines I did there? You can use that to do a bit of a hair effect if you want as well. Just like this. A little bit of floop. Just like that, in between the line colors. I did it by accident and I was reminded of this. So that's why I'm saying, like, just let your pen flow, let the accidents happen so that you discover textures and such. Don't be afraid of mistakes, they are what makes you learn. Whoops. Or sometimes they're just mistakes like that, but could have been onto something with that mistake as well. Who knows? Oops. Yeah, starting to look decent. Okay. So, let me remove this. Remove these. Just want to put all the colors in a layer as well. Oops. was trying to type and that thing was typing. So this is the whole Vulpix. If you want to move everything together, just select all the groups together, and then you can just move your drawing. And the layers are still separated, but you can still move it. There we go. And now, what I like to do is a final layer. So I've put all the colors here. I group them, and what I'm gonna do is create a layer over that group and create clipping mask. So now I'm gonna be able to draw over everything in that other folder. For example, like this. And it's still gonna stay within the lines that I made at the beginning with the base color. And a cool thing you can do, like, see, I was using blue right there. Some different colors interact differently when once I'm done putting down the color, I'll tell you. So right here I'm thinking about blue for shades, for example. Usually I just put it 100% though. Let me just do this like that. I'm just doing it roughly because roughly. I'm not gonna actually use this for this drawing, but it's good to know, or fun to know as well. So for example, I really want to do more contrasts. And I would go here, go back to the multiply. I would reduce the opacity though because it's very intense, but you'd have like a bigger shadow. And now see how clunky it is? One thing you can do as well is you go into filters. Yeah, I haven't drawn in a while. Blur gallery and field blur. And this is gonna help you blend it a little bit. See? There we go. And you can press OK if you want it or not. And yeah, I actually like that, so I'm actually gonna keep it. And the fun thing is that blue interacts differently than just using black. I prefer using blue because I don't know, it blends better. And if I wanted to do some highlights as well or lighter things, I would do the same clipping mask to make sure that it connects to the rest. But I would go to a more yellow color ish, like that, instead of white, for example. Or it can be a bit more red, but this is orange already, so I'm gonna go more towards the yellow. You could go towards the pink. Actually, I'm gonna try. Let's see what this looks like. More of a pink. So we want highlights here, like this. There's like a lot here going on. I want this as well. Some here. And if you don't want to use the blur, you can just use what we've been using the whole time to, you know, like blend everything. And or you could combine both, like start blending it a bit, and when you feel it's blended enough, just go use the blur and see what it does. So let's do this with this one. Oops, opacity smaller, so I'm gonna try to pre-blend it a little bit, see what it does. Stretch it out here, give it a bit of a gradient there. I don't know if pink is gonna look good, but I can always change the color. I'll show you how right after. There, big amount of coloring. There, a bit like this. Oh, the stomach is complaining with a lack of food again. It's okay, I'm almost done. I will feed you soon. Okay, this is good enough. And before I blur, I'm just gonna show the option, which would be like lighten. Maybe screen. Would screen look better? I'll try screen. I've actually, but there's like different types of lights. Like, oh, soft light looks really good. Okay, I'll keep it at soft light. And see, I've pre-blended it a bit, so it already looks good. But I'm gonna filter, field blur. I'm actually experiencing a lot myself right now. Oh, not too much. Yeah, okay. I don't wanna blend it too much, because what I can also do to help it blend is reduce the opacity so that it merges more with the other colors under. They're like a bit of a see-through, if it makes sense. And last but not least that I can add is some very white lines of any color. Yeah, I'll stay in the reddish since I've done this already. Wait, no, I want this here. This to be tinier. And now this is where I add some sort of a bit of a reflection everywhere. Just some corners don't. Well, I say everywhere, but not everywhere. I'll show you where I add those. Sometimes I just don't know how to add them, and it happens. This works, I think. Not everywhere. Like this. Wait, yeah, there we go. Oh, the complaints of my stomach are getting louder. It's like, yo, listen to me, please. There we go. Like this. I started this when there was light, and now it's dark out. It's kind of funny, but it's not very late in of itself. It's just the light goes down very early. Oh, I forgot to do the paw cushions. I'll do them afterwards. It's no worries. So this is not a necessary step, but it does give a bit of oomph, I guess, to the drawing. I try to keep the lines to where the lights would hit the most. Like this. Corner here, for example. Maybe a bit of the toes here. This one here. Oops. Can't do this. Okay. Okay. So yeah, as you could see in this drawing, I tried out some things, like the pink, for example. That was the first time I actually did that, but it came out well, I think. I actually like it. There, look at the difference. So without, with, it just makes it pops a little more. And I think that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, no, the paw. I forgot the paw. I'm just gonna add it there because it doesn't really matter. My organization of layers is fine as is. Oh wait, I'm gonna make them a bit more towards the pink. This. forget about that. When you work with stuff like a layer with multiply, a layer with soft light, and you want to try to pick a color, like see, I picked brighter color, that brighter color, and I try to draw, oops, on that layer, it goes darker. You just want to close these layers, because this is the actual color of the thing that you're drawing. It's because those influence the color, so you're not getting the right one when you're coloring something under those layers. So just hide them to pick the color. And then do your thing. And then when you're done, you can just put them back on. So yeah, this is the default Vulpix. You can add the little white lightings if you want. And that is fine as a result. It looks good. You can add the little lights only, and you can add the shades if you want. If the shade is too strong, like I like strong shades, but if some people don't like strong shades, you can always lower it, you know. But I kind of like the stronger shade. It gives him a lot of volume right now, and I like it. And I think that's pretty much it. Another thing that you can do that is fun, just for right. Yeah, so you just remove the background. So when you have these little checkered background, it means that no color exists in that area. So when you save your drawing as a PNG, when you put that drawing onto anything else, the whole area of checkered is gonna be that something else. So you don't have to like clean around the drawing to try to put it onto something else. Let me show an example. So I'm gonna add a layer behind the background just to that being a background. Okay, thank you. No, you go there. Alright, so for example, I add something behind it. Let me go grab a picture. There, let's see this picture. So you see there's a picture here, but we don't see it. Alright, but if I remove the background here, the white layer, this is where the checkered would be. So the picture is there now, and yeah, that's really cool. So yeah, the checkered, you put a picture behind, it is like already cropped, or not cropped, but clean, if it makes sense. So you can like draw some characters individually if you want and add them to a scene or whatever. I do not recommend it because the lighting might be off, unless you fix it later on. Like you could just do your flat colors and have your characters on different like files, and then put them all together and then start making the gradients, if it helps. Like just be creative, do whatever you want. And so yeah, this is the Vulpix and how to shade it and how to do all the things. And let me know if it was any helpful, and if you draw anything after learning that. Yeah, feel free to show me. I would love to see it. And if you're not the person I'm dedicating this to, you can also show me whatever you're drawing. I don't know if you can link in the comments, but you can, if you have an Instagram, just tell me your handle in the comments and I'll go check it out and probably comment on it and be like, hey, that's cool. So yeah, everybody have a good night or day or whatever time it is, and enjoy everything.